going on, guys? Patriot Prime here once again with a response video. This is a response to Larkin's Lair, who asked, what was your come to Primus moment? In other words, at what point in your adult life did you decide to start collecting again? Well, for me, let's go back in the Wayback Machine to the year 1996. Now, I was a huge G1 fan growing up. I was around when they first came out. I collected the Marvel comic series, lots of the toys, nothing like I have now. I mean, 10-year-old me be quite proud. But as I grew older, as we all do, I got out of them. I kept getting the comics up until it ended in issue 80, and I believe I was a senior in high school. And I still to this day remember the very last G1 figure I bought. That was Pretender Monster Ice Pick. I remember picking him up, it was on a whim, because I still love these guys. I love the characters, I love the stories, and he looked cool. I really liked the Pretender Monster shell, so I remember vividly him being the last one, and the rest is history. You graduate high school, you get interested in girls, yada, 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 it all goes on. But I remember in 1996, I was living on my own. I remember seeing the Beast Wars cartoon come on, I think it was like 7:30 in the morning on USA Network. I remember getting ready for work, and I see Transformers Beast Wars. I'm like, what's this? So I get to watching it, and I thought it was really cool. So I remember setting my VCR, remember what those are, kids? Setting my VCR to catch this show. So I lucked out, and actually the first show I watched was the very first episode. So I ended up getting to watch the original series. I think it was like a 2-part, 3-part miniseries. Then I lucked out, it played again the next week, and then the series continued. So I thought that was really cool. Now, at the time, my job was at a local Kmart. I was the loss control manager. It was my job to bust shoplifters and internal theft. And fortunately, my office, you had to walk through the toy aisle to get to my office. The Transformer aisle, or action figure aisle at the time. In 96, it was Spider-Man figures, X-Men figures, Batman, Toy Biz, all these things. And I remember going into my office one day, as I was going into my office one day, and they had the display of the Beast Wars figures. And I'm checking them out. I was like, wow, these look really cool. And then lo and behold, on the top shelf, I see this guy. Now, I love Megatron. I know it's hard to believe, being a guy called Patriot Prime with Optimus Prime tattooed on my arm. Megatron was my favorite G1 character. And when I saw this toy, it just looked so cool. I remember picking this box up and looking at it over and over again, looking at the front, looking at the back, putting it back on the shelf over and over again, thinking, this thing is awesome. I love that they brought Megatron back. And of course, if you watch Beast Wars, Megatron is voiced by David Kaye, and I love the voice acting that he did for this character. Yes. And I just had to get him. So at one point, I was like, I'm 25 years old. I'm going to go grab this. Nobody's really going to pay any attention. I grabbed Megatron, went through the checkout, took him home. I had a blast with this figure. This is the Megatron that I bought in 96. He's in great shape. He's got all these pieces, all these parts. I love this thing. I had to get more. So I started collecting all of the Predacons. I don't know what it was about the Maximals. I didn't get into them. I had the complete series. Every Predacon that came out, I had. Alas, I sold off all my Beast Wars when I really got into G1, but I had to keep Megatron. I've got this Ultra Purple T-Rex. I've got the Transmetal Megatron that I will never touch again, and the Dragon Megatron. I did finally get a Optimus Prime, the original Black Gorilla, but right here, Megatron is what really got me back into collecting again. And then pretty much every line that came out, I started getting them all. And I was so thrilled when RID came out and they were back into turning into cars and vehicles. And I remember Amazon.com. I think one of my very first purchases on Amazon was the RID Scourge, which is up there on my top shelf too. And it was great, and it's just been it's been my collecting ever since. Now, when I went to Sharticon in 2013, that's when the G1 bug hit me, and man, it was G1 all the way. As I said, everything else kind of got sold off, maybe except for a few figures, mainly my Megatrons and Optimus Primes, but really proud of my G1 collection. I have every American Generation 1 Decepticon, still working on a few Autobots. So there you go, guys. That was my Come to Primus can't even talk. That was my Come to Primus moment. 1996's Ultra Predacon Megatron. So, Larkin, there you go. What say you, fellow YouTuber Transformer collectors? What was your Come to Primus moment? What brought you back into the fold of collecting toys? Did you ever stop? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on a video. And as usual, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. I try to put out 1 to 2 videos per week. Just depends on my schedule. Also, make sure and check out my series, The Sit Rep, where I sit down and talk Transformers with other YouTuber collectors. And check out the Patriot Prime merch store. Get yourself a Patriot Prime t-shirt, tank top, mug, or decal. And if you feel free and would like to donate to the channel, I have a link in the description below. Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. This is Patriot Prime signing out. Hooah!